Shabbat Mishpatim is full of amazing laws that go back thousands of years, were given at a very different time to ours, but most of them are just as applicable today as they were then. But some were not, and those that were not have either fallen into disuse because the circumstances have changed, or because the opportunity of carrying them out no longer applies. An obvious example for this, of course, would be sacrifices. But after the whole bundle of laws, which are the constitution of the Jewish people and of our traditions, there is a return to what happened on Mount Sinai in previous chapters. And there are some interesting differences between the two narratives, and this is common in the Torah. Very often an incident, an event is revisited and expanded on because there are so many ways, different ways, of looking at events and looking at what happens and what the significance is. In this second version, Moses, is at the top of the pyramid, so to speak. Then you have the elders, and then you have the people, the masses. And within the realm of the elders, you have the priesthood and the hierarchy. The Torah says that those lower down, some of the higher princes, but below the level of Moshe at the top and Yoshua in between, they saw the God of Israel. And beneath the God of Israel, there was this vision of pure sky bright sapphire. And then, having had that vision, they ate and they drank. God did nothing to them. One would expect something would have happened because God warned Moses in advance that people shouldn't come too close. How does one understand this? Well, at level number one, I think what one understands is that the Sinai experience was a phenomenal experience. Physically, there was fire and thunder and lightning. But it also was a really profound spiritual experience. Now, it's very, very difficult to put spiritual experiences into words. We can talk about it, but it's very difficult to give an impression. And again, the Torah very often uses analogies to describe this relationship with God. So what happened was, these people, they're called the Atzilei B'nai Yisrael, or the princes, or part of, it's very unclear, had a profound experience of God. And it was unlike anything they'd ever experienced. But if you want to get the nearest analogy to it, it would be something like pure bright light. It would be something purer than any other experience you've had. But then the question is, well then after having such a profound experience, why do they eat and drink? Some people say because it's like a Sudat mitzvah, it's like a celebration of a religious occasion. But I think it means something else. I think it means that when you have a spiritual experience, in our tradition, this has to be translated into everyday behavior. And sometimes when you have this experience, it doesn't. And sometimes it does. Look how after the golden calf episode, which we're going to come to, after they built this golden calf, they all offered sacrifices and then they ate and they drank. But then they got up to have an orgy, letzachek, monkey business. Whereas here, the people who ate and drank after their experience of God, it elevated them. It elevated the way they live. And that's the ideal, that in Torah, experience of God, spirituality, should make you a better person, should improve the way you experience life and make it all so much more meaningful.